think I've done wrong about paying this? What do you think I've done wrong, Andrew?
I know what you've done wrong.
Well, we've had a little hiccup with little Tracy the tractor. We've had a few hiccups this week, but this is one but many on our perfect lifestyle in the Algarve. The trouble with Tracy, she's getting on a bit now, I think. She's probably about a few years older than necessary, but like all girls when they get to a certain age, the starter motor seems to go. so she's got a problem with her starter motor. Now I've had a look at the starter motor and it doesn't turn, but when I cross it with a metal bar, which if you Google how to do it, it'll tell you how to do it, the engine kicks off. That tells me that there's dust in the starter motor. So hopefully we can not have to replace it, but just clean her out. But like I say, the main problem with Tracy is that it's a starter motor. So she's out of commission for a week, maybe a little bit more. Well, unlike modern machinery, we rely heavily on electronics. Electronics in this country, when it gets to about 30 to 40 degrees, can have serious issues. Now, Angela's yawning at me for telling you this, but this is quite an important thing to say. The best machinery is the old machinery. It relies very little on electronics. One, it's cheap to repair, and two, you can actually repair it yourself. Whereas electronic equipment, you have to get specialists in. So when you decide to take on a farm like this, it's always advisable not to get modern machinery, because I'm telling you, it's not worth the money and it's not worth the hassle, because after a time they just pack up on you very quickly. Whereas although she's packed up, it was a starter motor which is electrical. Fingers crossed we can resolve the issue. Otherwise, I don't want to replace the starter motor because it can be up to €300 a pop.
To listen to his Russell Brand now, and I keep getting blacked out with the sunshine. I do read every single comment that you do post, and a lady put, to live your lifestyle must be paradise, and for the most part it actually is. I would say for 90% it's really good. But we've had a week this week of worry, things going wrong, and it's just been very tense, and I'll explain to you why. So with our watermelon journey this year, I did actually plant loads and loads and loads of watermelon, and the person that was buying my watermelon said that she would actually take all of them, and because the prices have gone down, the shops are actually selling them and undercutting her. She hasn't been able to shift them as much, and we've probably got about a ton of watermelons that we just got them in the field, and every day a few pop, a few get too soft, and we're going to just lose money with this now. So that's the first issue that we've had this week. Abe's been round a few of the fruit distributors, and they're saying now it's orange season, so they're not really interested in the watermelons. Abe's in his digger, so that's the noise that you can hear. So the only other thing that I can think of is to take the seeds out of them and sell the seeds. They might be just better if I sold the seeds for them. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing is that we're getting outpriced by the supermarkets. People aren't interested with them being organic. They just want a cheap watermelon. So I mean, you've got a lot to say about it, haven't you, Coco? We had them at 50 cents a kilo, and we've actually decided to even lower them at 40 cents a kilo. So sometimes you've just got to walk away from it. You know, we're trying to buy some solar for the bore pump, and at the moment we're just not getting anywhere. So tonight's job is Abe's going to bring Sharon the tractor round. I'm going to pick the watermelons. We're going to take them inside, and hopefully we can find a buyer for them. If not, it's just going to be a complete waste of time. Ice creams, please, and a Cornish wafer.
There'll be 2 watermelons, please.
Breakfast, Abes.
Yes, we've got a few too many watermelons there, I say. Well, that's like sugar sweet. Beautiful.
That's nice.
Good for the arteries, good for the veins, good for detoxing.
Good.
Don't knock the seeds. The seeds are, if not even more better for you. So if you eat the seeds, they really are really good for you.
Good for the old circulation, eh, Abe?
Yeah.
So we've had Tracy the tractor, and we've got an issue with the melons now. But the biggest issue this week is just mind-blowing, and this is a tape that I taped previously. So we had some really shocking news yesterday. When we sold our house in Alt, we made €100,000, and we had to try and find a capital gains consultant to offset the tax. Now, trying to find a capital gains tax consultant here in the Algarve, it was really hard, but we managed to get, took all our receipts down, what we'd kept over the 4 years of doing the house up in Alt. Obviously there was price of the house in Alt and the stuff that we bought for here, and these people that actually specialise in capital gains tax. And anyway, we did have the conversation with them last year when they came up with a tax bill of, I think it was like 20,000 that we owed, and we said, look, we can't possibly owe that, and you have 3 years to pay it anyway. So anyway, it came back that it was actually 10,000 that we still owed. So that means that every year that we spend money on this property, that the tax should go down. So we put all those receipts in and we had a bill of about 10,000, but we've still got 2 more years, including this year that's just, well, halfway through the year. So anyway, we saved our receipts, we put them in, I think it was April or May, physically went into the office, gave them to a lady and filled in a form, and we haven't really heard anything back. So I was chasing up with emails. We haven't had the report back that we had last year. I'll show you the report. And I got an email back last night saying that we owed 79,000 euros. And it's like your heart just stopped. And I just thought, well, surely that can't be the case, that we owe 79,000 euros when last year we got it down to 10,000. Capital gains is something that you actually reduce with the more that you spend, the more it gets knocked off your bill. So to get an email saying last night that we owe 79,000 euros, it's just incredibly worrying. And it's like, I've said, well, if that's the case, we'll just have to sell the farm, and that would be the end of it. A bit at limbo at the moment, and yeah, it's mighty worrying. But I'm sure they've got it wrong, and I could imagine somebody putting an extra 7. I can imagine if it was 7,000, but not 79,000. But it makes you wonder if that was the case and we've done something terribly wrong, and we have got a tax bill of 79,000. What the heck are we going to do? Because we couldn't live here, we couldn't pay it. You know, we just don't have a spare 80 grand.